Let's talk a little bit about layout modes in dashboards when it comes to content creation. Various BI tools can offer different layout systems, and Dundas BI is actually flexible enough to provide you with more than one. I'll show you quickly what these layout systems offer and why Pixel Perfect is so powerful. Let's check it out. And you know what they say? Insanity is hereditary. You get it from your kids. I'm Jeff, and this is Off the Charts with Jeff. When it comes to business intelligence, you usually see two types of layout systems. An automatic one, where you add content that essentially fills the screen on a template of some sort. Dundas BI supports this, and you can see that I can define a grid, maybe a 4x4 in this case, and then it's simply a matter of the user adding content to each template. This type of layout is great because it's an easy mode. If you have no idea how to do design, you can usually get something that's at least passable looking with a layout engine like this. I have nothing wrong with people wanting to do this, and the only problem that comes up is that if this is your only layout system, you're really hampering your potential. A tool like Dundas BI gets you started with an easy mode like this, but then allows you to transition over to a pixel perfect layout system that unlocks your full potential. This is really important, as easy mode only takes you so far. So I do have some great examples and some cool things to show you about what you can do with a better layout system, but first, let's look at what I mean by a pixel perfect layout. Basically, you're not limited to a BI tool trying to place elements for you. You have precise control about where everything goes in the layout, kind of like PowerPoint, and you can put anything anywhere. Exact control, positions, margins, size, it's up to you. Take a look at this fun Star Trek themed dashboard that I did. If I lay over a basic grid on top of it, you can see that it's not following this type of layout. We've got all these interesting menus, news, and decorative elements. You couldn't build this without a pixel perfect layout system. And we pride ourselves on the ability to match an exact design provided by a graphic artist. In our cases, a graphics person may hand us a design or a concept that they've envisioned, and we have no problem matching it precisely because of this layout system that Dundas BI offers. Something like this is needed to take your dashboards to the next level visually. Now, another considerable advantage is the ability to create these interesting composite visualizations. This is where you take various controls offered by a BI tool and bring them together to create a more complex and detailed visualization. See these colored rectangles at the top of the screen? Well, let's dissect one. We start by adding a rectangle, and then maybe an icon to give meaning to the visual, data labels to show current values, a micro chart to show history, a state indicator to help understand the current value and what it means, another label to provide contextual information, and obviously a title. And now, we've created something much more compelling than you could have done with a tool that only drops a chart into a specific section of the screen. You need this type of layout system in your life. You can see that this type of concept also allows us to do these gauges at the bottom. They're overlaid with titles, states, and even progress information. I absolutely love the potential that an engine like this unlocks for your users. So let's go on to one more example. Here's an example that I built a few years ago. And yes, I fully appreciate that this is not the most pretty dashboard I've created, but I did match something that a client was looking for. And what they had basically done is given us a screenshot from a very old system they were using, handed me it, and said, I'd like you to match this exactly. So we replicated it as best we could. You know, the customer's always right. And yep, we pretty much matched exactly what they wanted. This dashboard is basically just a large example of one of those composite visualizations that I was talking about. This one happens to be real time, but you can see that we've placed elements throughout the screen and laid everything out together. I think this would look much better with updated graphics, but the concept is really cool. One of these days, I might actually rebuild this and restyle it. I think it would be fun, but you get the idea. So what do you think? Having full control over your layout can certainly unlock a lot of potential, doesn't it? If your BI tool only offers limited template-based dashboards, then something like these are impossible. It really can close the door to exciting visualizations that you might want to create. Now, if you do have an interest in fun or more detailed visualizations, we definitely do have some videos that might interest you. Specifically, I'm thinking the one we have on the maps that takes you through a lot of cool things you can do on that side. Mapping is a world of its own, and diagrams is another thing that's very interesting. But there's also some really cool chart types that I bet you've never even heard of. Check it out if you have time. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.